Good morning, everyone. Recently, Hi-Rez has announced that they're in the process of picking and choosing some community-made skin concepts to give us in-game. So today, I thought we should go over a few of these skin concepts, 2 per class to keep things clean, and we're just going to jump right into it. First up, we have the Hunters, and kicking things off is Hou-Yi, Dances with Suns. We don't have many tribal-themed skins in the game, so it's good because we could see some pretty decent lines for his voice back. Hi-Rez could be really creative here. But the skin itself, for what it is, looks good, as the bow looks very nice, and there's like the feather and bandana in Hou-Yi's hair, which I think looks pretty good. It's simple, but who doesn't like that barefoot action then? Alright, so the first concepts we have for the Guardians are very, very similar, so I decided to put them in one slot. And they're 2 bear concepts, one for Kumbhakarna, one for Bacchus. For Kumbhakarna's concept, he's got a stick with upside-down jar of honey attached to it, with all the honey leaking out, and he's surrounded by bees constantly as like a little side animation, and his paws and mouth are covered in honey. So I really like that concept. But then we have a more cartoony version of this skin with Bacchus. His one makes him munch on a bunch of, I'm assuming, honey treats in a basket, whatever. No one knows what's in there, but yeah, just a bunch of things in his basket. His 2 is his 2. His 3 makes him roar instead of burp. And his ult, of course, is his ult. So not too much change there. He still has a bee flying around him. And he's obviously going to have that standby animation where he takes a bite out of the honeycomb that he's using as a melee weapon. The important question here, though, is would these guys follow in the footsteps of Camazotz, where they don't have regular voice lines and they just have a bunch of roars? I think the Bacchus one definitely wouldn't say anything. It doesn't look like the type of bear to actually say anything. The Kumbhakarna one probably would be a talking bear. Not sure why, but it looks like it would talk. In fact, the Bacchus one just looks so eternally pissed. So, I mean, if it could talk, it would probably just be a bunch of angry lines and a bunch of roaring in the voice pack anyway. But yeah, moving on. So next up we have Ratatoska as the Easter Bunny. I almost chose Ratatoska as a cat, but the Easter Bunny. Like, I'm not really a fan of cats, admittedly, but it's the Easter Bunny. Like, can't say no to the Easter Bunny. And of course the VER line is You're Extraordinary, so of course admitted cringe, maybe, possibly. No, you will love that line. And then you have his 2. Now, some of the animations are a bit dated, because of course the skin was made whilst Ratatoska still had his old kit before his rework, I suppose, ish. But the ult still has, like, bunnies on the branches when he goes into it, and a cool petal landing animation, so that looks cool. And overall, it's a very nice skin concept, so yeah. When I was searching for these concepts, there was just an ungodly number of chef concepts. Pretty much almost every warrior has some sort of chef concept. Like half of the Guardians do, a lot of mages do. I decided to pick Chef Osiris, slightly because Osiris pretty much has no skins. Really. I mean, he's got Zombie Osiris, and he's got Frankenstein Osiris, and, well, that's about it. Like, as if Hi-Rez sort of forgot about him. But Chef Osiris, because it's just the right level of just pure goofy. Like, his skins are kind of goofy, but they're not really that goofy. So he's got measuring spoons instead of his flail. He's got a rolling pin instead of his sickle. And I think that has a different animation for when you throw it at a target. But they'd still somehow have a rolling pin sticking out of their chest to whoever you throw the rolling pin at. Just a giant... I'm just really interested to see how that would look in the game. You've got spaghetti and meatballs for the 2. You've got a shish kebab that links between you and your target when you use the 3. And then a batter mix ult. I have no idea how the ult would look in-game, but yeah. And he's even wearing some crafty Crocs there with bacon socks, because bacon socks are cool. Okay, so next up for the mage skins, we have Crazy Cat Lady Chunga. This skin just seems so funny to me. She's got a nice little apron that she's wearing. The cat is stuck in a basket. The cat's supposed to be Chunga's rabbit. The first skill, instead of having the wave, it's like a super speeding cat. And then the 3 is the same thing. with a cat in her basket. So, essentially everything she does, she's just shooting out cats. I think even her regular basic is a cat. Kind of like the witch's Aphrodite skin, where she throws cats, and then when they hit a wall, they kind of slide down the wall. Maybe we'd get something like that, similar to that. But either way, it's still a very cool looking concept. So next up, we have Mad Manik Newer. Now her cape looks like it's going down to her feet, and it looks like she'll actually be walking with this skin concept, making it a tier 4. Intended to be a tier 4, it seems. With the one, she's got more of kind of a carpet effect, though it would probably still look the same in game, just green. The soldiers are actually kind of like card soldiers, kind of like the Queen of Hearts style soldiers. When you explode the soldiers, it leaves like a kind of stone heart effect, which looks really cool. And then when she goes into her ult, she actually sprouts wings, it seems, and flies upwards and has more like demonic claw-like hands. She's got more demonic claw-like feet as well. The whole thing just looks really cool and kind of almost edgy, I suppose. And it looks like she also spawns some sort of rose garden when she goes into her ult. This seems really crazy and detailed. Cool concept. So the next skin concept that we have here is for Osiris, Apocalypse Jurassic, and instead of Suku, she's riding some sort of raptor, or maybe Suku is the raptor. Really, Hi-Rez hasn't really experimented too much with what different creatures they could make Suku. They've made Suku a robo-cat, they've made I think a tiger, and then of course Suku himself, or herself, is a jaguar. So yeah, they really haven't played around with that too much, and also Osiris hasn't really had a skin all that recently. What, did she get a Halloween skin? Was it? And before then, she didn't have a skin for a while, so yeah, this could be really nice for her. And we also don't have that many Tribble skins in-game. Currently it's just Osiris, and maybe, arguably, Hou-Yi? Possibly? Ish? But yeah, it definitely fits the theme of her god. This outfit doesn't look too different to her standard base in-game look anyway for her, besides, of course, the face looks completely different as well. But yeah. So the last Guardian skin we've got here is for Cabrakan. It's called Doom Raider, and really, I don't have a lot to say about this skin. It just looks really, really, really nice. That's why I picked it. It's one of those things where you just look at it, and you're just like, yep, that's good, put it on the list, kind of thing. Which was my thought process while actually choosing this skin. There were quite a few other skins that could have taken this spot, but this one takes the spot. We all like dragons, so this wasn't the hardest choice in the world. Okay, I did pick this concept over pizza, and i.e. I had to say no to pizza, but whatever. The dragon armor on Skadi looks great, a little Skyrim-esque, but that's not a complaint. Cold Air becoming an actual badass dragon that looks like it would have a sweet effect when it's not in battle. They've also given a few choices for what the 3 could look like. It could be either the Cold Air's Spit, just for the lols, and also it makes the most sense. But it would be funny to watch people sliding and slipping all over burning lava or fire. So yeah, that's this concept. So the last concept I have to grace your eyes with is for Vamana, and he's wearing a teddy bear costume. Now I know we already had bears earlier on in the video, but it reminds me too much of Ted, and I'd really want to see what kind of jokes Hi-Rez would be willing to put in the game with this skin. Plus when he ults, he turns into a giant bear, so there's that. And yeah, it could be a really, really cool skin. He's also holding a rattle as his melee weapon, so we'd probably get maybe possibly very annoying, but possibly not very annoying, on-hit sounds for the rattle. But overall, yeah, this skin. Well, that's the end of the video. There are quite a few skins to get through, and actually a surprising number of skin concepts just for Kronos, who I'm assuming wasn't a pickable character when we had the options to choose what god would be available. So, yeah, that's a thing. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, of course, by all means, subscribe. Tell me which skin concepts were your favorite, or if you have skin concepts that you've made yourself or found that you think were better than the ones that I showed, go ahead and let me know what those are. Maybe leave links to those in the description below. Until the next video though, I've been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.